If I were to make the next expansion, it would go back to basics, back to World of Warcraft, Dragon Isles, dragons, dragon lore, maybe a little bit about the Emerald Dream, things that people know. Don't throw things at the player base that they are not prepared for and that they're not going to be able to follow. I think that is just absolutely wrong. I think that expansion should be used to revitalize the world of Azeroth. So I would use that expansion to bring back the farms from Draenor, from Mist of Pandaria, right? And allow the farm to be placed in any zone that you want out in the world. I would bring things like Karazhan. I would turn Karazhan into the new Torghast with all of the lessons that they've learned from Torghast. I would also like them to bring housing. So basically make the next expansion the expansion of the wish lists. Answer the wish lists of the players. Give the players what they want and give the players a lot of what they want, right? So make the old world fun again. I'm sort of enchanted with stuff like Chocobo racing in Final Fantasy. And I thought to myself, why can't we have somewhere in some far off forgotten realm, right? One of the zones that no one ever visits. Why doesn't Blizzard put up a goblin town where you can build your own machines that you race against, right? The racetrack is actually the perfect example. Blizzard could do that and actually add things to race in it, right? And you do exactly what you have with Final Fantasy, where you build this machine, right? So you build your own mount and then you race people with the mount that you've just built. In Chocobo racing, you can actually breed your own Chocobos and sort of change the way that they would race. Blizzard could do the same thing just with building. We have gnomes and goblins who both have their own style of building engineering things. Engineering is perfect for it, so people can go do racing. It's not something that many people are going to do. Let's be real. Not everyone is going to fucking do it. The vast majority of people are going to go, well, I'm going to do something else. But it doesn't have to be for everyone, right? That's the point. That's what I want from the next expansion. Stop trying to make things that everyone is going to enjoy. Make things that some people will enjoy, because that's how MMOs are supposed to work. You're never going to make something that everyone is going to enjoy, but you can make something that some people will enjoy. That's the point of MMOs. That sounds like a big investment in development for something most people wouldn't want. Moylan, Final Fantasy does that. Like, Final Fantasy created Chocobo racing. Not many people do it. They still update it. They keep it updated. The thing is, yes, it's an initial massive investment, but after it's built, after it's implemented, from there you make small additions to it every single expansion to keep it updated for the people that like it. The point is that you want to build a game with as many rides as possible. It is a theme park MMO after all. Knowing full well that no one is going to like all of the rides. I'll tell you something that pisses me off. Blizzard they stopped giving love to pet battles due to not enough people liking it. What are you talking about? There were people who liked it. It doesn't matter that not everyone liked it. What were you expecting? Did you think that everyone in the fucking game was going to do pet battles? It was never going to be a massive, massive piece of content, but it didn't have to be. If you had like 10 developers every single expansion working on pet battles, pet battle dungeons, pet battle raids, at least that services one group of the player base, right? People who might like that shit. If you had the farms, let's say you brought back the farms and you made it an evergreen feature, you had a group of 20 developers that only worked on the farm. That's their entire job. Year in, year out, they add stuff to the farm. So every expansion, people with their farms get a shit ton of content, right, from these developers, because all these developers do is they work on farms. They make the farm system great. Housing, same thing. You build enough features that enough people like the features, and then you stand back and say, great. I would argue the biggest failure of Garrisons was that everyone was forced to have one. The expansion was built in such a way that you had to have a garrison in order to play the expansion, which was Blizzard's biggest mistake. The expansion should never have been designed around garrisons. Garrisons should have been a fun feature that people could have if they really wanted a garrison. They could build themselves a garrison, but the rest of the expansion should have happened divorced of garrisons. And Moylan, you said you disagree, and then you literally said what I said. So I'm not sure what you disagree with, because it literally boils down to the same point. The reason players were isolated is because everyone was forced to have a garrison, and the entire expansion was built around the garrison, right? That's why Garrison's biggest failure is the fact that it was the main focus of the expansion. Housing shouldn't be that way, right? Housing should be an opt-in feature. I think more than you and I agree on that. I think we agree anyways on everything I just said. We just misunderstood each other. But yeah, I think that's Blizzard's biggest failure. In almost every single thing that they do, their biggest failure is that they keep trying to design these systems that everyone should like, right? It should be a system that everyone wants to get in on. But that's not how gaming works. That's not how MMOs work. You don't design things that everyone likes. You can design things that some people like, and then you have to design enough things so that everyone likes something, right? Everyone has something to like, but not everyone's going to like one thing. And that's Blizzard's biggest failure.